Well, thank you for coming. Yes, I'm wearing my green. This is the Samuel Ayer green. My name is Robert Burrell, and back in 1974, 75, 76, I was a producer-director of the Milpitas Monster. So enjoy our looking back, the making of the Milpitas Monster, and as you know, couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. Samuel Ayer High School was built on tradition. The mighty Trojans established a winning way from leaders like Leo Murphy, Jack Mackay, Ed Bates, Don Campagna, Joe House, and Jim Brennan, and Bob Nicolai. I was hired off the San Jose State varsity baseball team, although I trained as a bulldog at the College of San Mateo. And so I brought my bulldog training to my Samuel Ayer Trojans in the spring of '69. And by the way, can you develop a photo program and make it work? I was asked. Well, I found a small darkroom with only 2 enlargers. So our new class was photo appreciation. The birth of our new school district encouraged new curriculums. I was taught the sky is the limit. And think big, magic happens. These were the values I carried over and taught to my students. In my first year, we were all learning photography, which would lead to filmmaking. So we studied the art of filmmaking and the filmmakers. I was asked to film the football games, so I had the school camera, and together we made a few films. And then I read that a pinhole camera could actually work. And so for my first assignment, we set out to build the 4 basic parts: a light-tight box, a film holder, a shutter, and a pinhole lens. This was the magic of photography, to find that our cameras could actually make an image. It was a profound, hands-on experience, first as a negative, and then as a positive. Amazing. And we all felt the magic. 4 views of photography my curriculum read, and the joys of discovery were recorded and read. Come with me and we will see the wonders of photography. Load your camera in the dark and look for a subject that's bright, not dark. Well, we were having fun, and that leads to learning. From there, we went on to our annual photo expos to attract interest in photography, display our year's work, and as a fundraiser. Then, our next improvement saved time. Master teacher Bill Hooper taught drafting right next door, and he had the entire blueprints to the high school. And he showed me a path where I could connect the darkroom to the classroom. A tunnel was cut, 2 curtains were hung just 10 feet away, and students pushed past them in seconds each way. Our new entrance completed the darkroom at the Samuel Golden Ayer Studios. Yes, that was my 3rd year of teaching. We'd gone from 2 enlargers to 15, and we didn't have to worry about students not having the unit. We just paired them up, 2 together. So we worked hard, but we got 30 people in that darkroom. And then Then we heard about the new adult education. Entering my third year at Samuel Ayer, I had completed a master's degree in film, and Principal Don Campagna encouraged me to add an adult education photography class. Now, many of my students' parents could join in. I decided to make photography a full-time career and retired from coaching baseball. I found my evening classes to be stimulating and began teaching photography as a vocation. Commercial photographer Dwight Caswell was added to my class offerings. I began to use my movie camera to teach photography with cinematography, and became aware that our high school was very similar to a small Hollywood studio. So the facility was in place. Samuel Golden Ayer, part of a solid movie studio. That's really what a high school is, in miniature. The bank and the business classes were in the 200 wing. Our photography club had its own account, and the typing classes prepared our script and typed our letters. And the science and math were right down the hall in the 300 wing. So any questions about darkroom chemistry or measurements were readily available. 400 wing offered English, history, and journalism. So all these departments play a valuable role in filmmaking. We had a very nice library, and the drama department has very talented students. Everything began to fall into place. The industrial arts, wood, metal, and electronics departments all contributed a vital support to our first period filmmaking class. Here are the stars of Samuel Golden Ayer. They are the student body that changes classes throughout all the departments. I was one of their teachers, but once the curriculum became bonded, we all learned that filmmaking is indeed a team effort. It's bigger than any one, and when you ride that combined effort, it becomes pure magic, and that's what art is all about. It was magical. You know, Walt Disney said it and proved it. That somewhere it exists, and you can take a ride on it. Boy, we did. So we thought it was time to dress up the Samuel Golden Ayer logo. So Sid Brown's assignment was to call up Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and ask them if they would send a photograph of their logo. And they did. Assistant Director Mike Clausen made quick work of the transfer. But I knew right away who I was going to call next. Crazy George Henderson had defined the Spartan cheerleaders, but he was no stranger to Samuel Ayer, because it was here that he did his student teaching.
Okay, it started off at San Jose State about 35 years ago. I was doing a San Jose State where I had each section stand up, and that's when it was at a university, San Jose State, and I had to do it in units that looked good. The alumni loved it on the other side, so I kept doing it. I kept modifying. Pretty soon I got multiple sections doing it. Pretty soon I had a whole section around the whole place doing it, and then I started with high school rallies. There's no sections, so I just started the wave by pointing, and then I went to the Oakland A's, New York Yankee playoff game, October 15th, 1981, and that's where I think I invented the wave, but I was doing it before that, actually.
Okay, we're rolling sound here, George. Let's go back to 1976 and see how you growled for Samuel Golden Ayer. Action! Okay, let's add the 20th century drum roll for Samuel Golden Ayer. Take two. Can Mark and George.
George, you look like a monster! The Milpitas Monster. Never before in the history of any school district or adult education program has such a film been produced. In a time of economic stress and impersonalization between communities, we have worked to set an example of old for all other cities and people to observe.
The Milpitas Monster. It could only happen in Milpitas.
This is Robert Burrell. Thank you for coming and supporting our Milpitas Monster folk hero.